I'm Ray Fontaine, designer, community organizer, strategist, and serial founder. I built businesses, collectives, coalitions, and cultural campaigns. Some flourished, some fizzled, but every single one shaped the founder that I am today. In the past few years, I've been kicking the habit of starting things that don't exist yet and figuring out the business model later. I've dissolved partnerships, restructured businesses, and rebuilt from burnout more times than I can count. Let me tell you, if you are looking for a mirror for your personal growth, start a business. There's no faster way to confront your flaws, your patterns, and your brilliance than to become 1, the boss, 2, the strategist, and 3, the person who's responsible for making sure everyone gets paid that's working to bring your vision to life. So let's do a quick check-in. Raise your hand if you've ever been burnt out before. Okay, cool. And how about raise your hand if you've ever put your whole soul into something and it flopped? Oh yeah. Yeah, me too. If you didn't have your hand up and you have an entrepreneurial spirit, don't worry, your moment is coming. Entrepreneurship is beautiful. It's brutal, it's exhilarating, and it's exhausting. And it will stretch you in ways that you never imagined. When things get rocky, and they will, the first place I like to look is me. If my team isn't delivering, I ask, have I trained them? Are there clear expectations? Did I actually give them the tools they needed to succeed? If my clients aren't paying, I have to wonder, did I structure the contract well? Did I use a contract? If the revenue just isn't coming in, you've got to ask yourself, did I actually do my market research? Am I selling the right thing at the right price to the right people? And when I'm feeling scattered, I wonder, am I giving myself time to reflect? Am I saying yes too often? Your systems of operation directly reflect your self-awareness. Your business exposes everything that you have not yet examined. But here's the gift. Every clunky moment and hang up and frustration is an opportunity to get curious. That's what design thinking taught me. That's what entrepreneurship taught me. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. So let's start off by just addressing these nasty little things that we tell ourselves we're not good at. Those dreaded subjects are our growth edges. And those rough little growth edges, that's where expansion actually begins. So if words like sales, or budget, or managing people make your stomach turn, it's not a flaw. It's an invitation to grow. I believe in delegation, but I also believe in education. Founders don't get to stay ignorant. You don't have to master every skill, but you do need to understand what keeps your business alive. If you're scared of money, you should probably take a crash course in finance. If managing people just wears you out, maybe try out like a leadership workshop. If sales is making you cringe, you should probably listen to like a podcast or watch a webinar, because if you don't have sales, you don't keep the lights on. And I just want to let you know, avoidance isn't the answer to your problems. Expansion is. We can't hire our way out of leadership, I'm sorry. And we can't value our team or ourselves if we don't understand the work. My entrepreneurial journey has been one long iterative design, full of pivots, hard lessons, and unexpected breakthroughs. I've learned how to align people with wildly different priorities, lead rooms full of CEOs and high school students alike, and keep my creative spirit alive while managing payroll. Maybe most importantly, I've learned how to fail and keep showing up. Endurance isn't about grit. It's about learning. It's about building a business that grows with you, not one that drains you. Through every venture, I've come to understand that self-knowledge is strategy, that rest is not a reward, it's a tool, and that clarity and joy are fuel, not distractions. Quick rewind, 10 years ago. Ear cuffs. I got to go exhibit my design thesis with new hearing aid technology and accessories at Dubai Design Week. I also discovered how expensive and long it takes to take a medical product to market. Got in an IP battle and let that project die. It wasn't my boldest moment, but I was 24. So I tried something else. Next up, Cactus Creative. It was a brilliant idea. It's really not that different than what my business is today, but the partnership lacked alignment. We shared the same skill set, and we did not share the same vision. So that dissolution taught me one of the hardest lessons of entrepreneurship. No matter how good your product is, the people matter more. Next came Clever Tech Digest, a feminist tech media project. We had buzz, a killer team, and no revenue model. So, turns out our passion did not pay the bills, and we wound up broke and burnt out. But that failure made me obsessed with two things. One, a strong business model, you need it, and two, sustainable operating systems, things that can run themselves. Because no mission can scale without the infrastructure to support it. Then came my current venture, my current business, Bywater Branding, my baby, my battleground, and my rebirth. I built it to serve mission-driven organizations and businesses with branding and strategy. It grew fast. I hired staff. I took on a partner. And a few years later, I had to buy that partner out because they did not align with my mission. Oops, I did it again. So I restructured, same offerings, clearer vision, Bywater Branding 2.0. It's leaner, smarter, and rooted in a values-first approach that galvanizes community action. I'm living my dream. Pretty cool, right? At the same time, as I was building Bywater Branding, I participated in a lot of collectives, like Art for Activism, the New Orleans Water Authority, the Philosophers Group, the New Society, NOAI, Better New Orleans, Brian Bell Leadership Forum, and now BIMBO, a new Bywater Mary Business Association. Some grew, some paused, and some pivoted. And the relationships all remained. And that's something no failed project can take from you. Your network, your integrity, and your lessons learned. Those early relationships led to my proudest collaboration yet, Climate Culture NOLA. Co-founded with Leroy Brown from OHUB and developed with wonderful partners that I picked up along all my many adventures. Climate Culture NOLA is a collective that brings together artists and engineers and business owners and organizations and civic leaders, all to face our city's climate challenges together. And all that collaboration takes a lot of energy. But it's powerful to see what we can achieve as a community together. So I want to just take a moment to talk about energy. Passion and burnout are sometimes, just the flip side of the same coin. Have you ever had a season where you couldn't wait to jump out of bed? You're obsessed, inspired, everything feels urgent, and maybe, just maybe, possible if you just do it all right now. That adrenaline, that clarity, that's magic. And maybe a little manic. And that's okay. Sometimes it takes that kind of passion to build something from nothing. But I've learned to temper the fire so I don't actually burn down everything I just built. I protect my self-care so I can think clearly, delegate intentionally, and keep my energy up. These days, I plan for my cycles of blazing passion and recovery. My burnout cycle runs about 3 to 4 years, which I think is pretty good. But this round, I saw it coming. And I'm very thankful to myself for building those sustainable operating systems that create space for me to step back when the time comes. After Climate Culture Salon 2, which was our biggest event to date, we had over 50 contributors performing and speaking and cooking, all on sustainable Mardi Gras. How do we make Mardi Gras sustainable? We had over 250 attendees at the Music Box Village. And I intentionally, immediately after, pushed the slow-mo button. I slowed down Bywater branding and climate culture right after the event. I took the entire week of Mardi Gras off, and I lightened my load 6 weeks before my wedding. And today I stand before you, 2 weeks until the big day, energized and excited. And it's because I honored my own cycles of energy and focus. I built a business that supports them. And when I come back, I'm ready. I will pursue the next 2 quarters of goals with clarity, drive, and joyful presence. Until Thanksgiving. Because that's around the time when we all need to slow down, be with loved ones, and remember that we are human. If you build your business with your humanity in mind, you don't burn out, you reset. Funny thing happened. Just when I was ready to give it all up and join someone else's team, I landed the biggest project of my career. It's a dream project that fuels both my ventures and aligns perfectly with my personal mission. Sometimes you have to let go to leap forward. That's what real design thinking taught me. Not the buzzword, but the practice. Empathy, prototyping, testing, iterating. It reminds us to value the process over perfection, to treat failure as data points, and to pivot with purpose. I use design thinking not just for my products and services, but for my life, and for my team, for my rest. You're allowed to redesign your business when it stops serving you. You're allowed to pause, pivot, prune, and come back wiser. And when we design from that place, a place of care, of curiosity, we can change the game. We make space for a different kind of leadership, one rooted not in fear, but in collaboration, creativity, intuition, and deep, active listening. It can look like strategic slowness or cyclical planning. If you remember anything from this talk, let it be this. Entrepreneurial endurance isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It means building systems that support you. You can build a business that reflects who you're becoming, not just who you were when you started. You don't have to operate at 110%, 365 days a year to lead with impact. Design your world to be sustainable for the long haul, not just to scale quickly. And remember, joy isn't optional, it's the strategy. I'm Ray Fontaine, founder, designer, facilitator, and soon-to-be wife. And I've recovered from burnout and kept building time after time. I'm not here because I made it. I'm here because I stayed in the game. Thank you.